We are live finally.
We are.
Apologies, everybody, for a few minutes delay. I think Facebook didn't want to cooperate with us today. And we have Isabel with us. So welcome again to another episode of my series with freelance teachers, private tutors like you, where I discuss freelancing with tutors, teachers, and entrepreneurs. And our goal is to help you make better decisions for your own business, being inspired by other people who actually do the same job. As mentioned, we have Isabel. She is a member of our For Tutors by Tutor support group. And there's so many great things she's doing in her life, but there's one which particularly grabbed my attention that I'm gonna dig into very deep today. This is video. And video is not only the thing of the present, it's also really the future of all social media and marketing. And that's what I keep repeating, users of Tutomy, so website builder, please add a very short video, intro video about yourself, because you increase your chances of people connecting with you. And also, have you noticed that the biggest social media like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok, all of them prioritize video these days? So welcome, Isabel. I'm so happy to have you today.
Thank you. Likewise.
Yeah, we are gonna talk a lot about video, but let's start maybe with your background. Tell us a little bit more about you, your business, what really helps you find students. Is it video?
Part of it is actually, so my name is Isabel Cruz. As you mentioned, I am actually from San Juan, Puerto Rico. So I was born and raised in Puerto Rico. I moved to the States in 2010. I have a degree in biology, molecular and cellular biology. And after I graduated college, I decided that I didn't want to pursue science anymore because I actually fell in love with acting, which is probably, I think you mentioned a little bit in my background that I do acting as well. And along with the acting, we always need a side hustle, so to speak, to compensate for, being available all the time. Like I needed to find something that I could make my own schedule, basically. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you know what? Let's tutor. Let's see what happens. Actually, a friend of mine, she introduced me to tutoring, and I was like, yeah, I can totally teach this. I used to do this in college. I would help my peers and stuff. I was like, yeah, I should do it. And next thing I knew, I loved it. Mm-hmm. I fell in love with it, and I just kept going. And today I have 24 students that I'm helping right now. Mm-hmm. Every week. So it's been a ride. It's been a lot of fun. I absolutely love it. And I do not regret not working in a lab actually anymore. So.
Also, I made a bit of research before we had this interview. And actually, I have to say, you're so positive person.
Thank you.
Like quotes that you add on your social media, and this really, like you can say you really enjoy what you're doing, and I'm so happy for it. Side question: do you think that acting actually made you more comfortable doing videos? And
absolutely. Oh, absolutely. One of the things that we learn in acting, because the thing is, like, a lot of people think that acting is like the easiest thing to do.
No,
and it is not. It is not. People ask me all the time, like, what can I do to be an actor? And I'm like, take classes. Like, it's like coming to me, what do I do to be an engineer? Take classes to become an engineer. Yes, I've taken so many on-camera classes. I've taken, obviously, it's helped me a lot with my confidence as well, because it gets you out of your head, So definitely has helped me a lot with making videos, for sure. Awesome. I highly recommend acting classes to anyone who's wanting to do videos.
That's cool. Actually, that's a good idea. Let me also welcome, we have Michael and Brenda and Paul with us. So guys, if you have questions to Isabel, just please shoot in the comments. I'm gonna ask them as we go. And then also, Isabel, like, if you will see me not paying attention, this means I'm replying to comments. So just keep going. Okay, so let's start about video in particular. What do you think, which social media or platform do you use for video in particular? I know you have a big YouTube channel, but is it your main video content platform, or maybe like you prefer also to repost this to your Facebook group or somewhere else?
I do a lot of reposts from YouTube. So YouTube is like, I think of it as my base. Like that is my main audience is on YouTube. But I do have a TikTok account. So I do post some stuff on TikTok, especially like announcements like, hey guys, I'm going to be live tomorrow. Send me your questions kind of thing. Yeah, so I do have the TikTok. I do have Instagram. I'm terrible at keeping up with Instagram, but I also do Facebook. And I've actually gotten clients off of Facebook as well. So that's my main I would say it's probably my biggest, because the thing is like there's a generational thing, right? So my students, I mostly teach middle school and high school. So all of my students are on TikTok, right? They're on TikTok, they're on Instagram. So that's why I do videos there, but they don't pay the bills, right? The parents do. So that's why I'm also on Facebook. And then the parents are the ones that communicate with me through Facebook more often than not.
Oh, that's so interesting what you said just now. So is it that students who don't really make decisions about hiring you find you on TikTok and then they go to their parents, oh, I want her?
I'm not sure if it happens exactly that way, but I do get a lot of feedback from students like, thank you so much for doing this. Because I mean, honestly, the reason why I started my YouTube channel, besides obviously making it an extra source of income, is because I realized that tutoring is not cheap, right? Like tutoring is fairly expensive. So I want to be that resource for students to make it accessible for everyone, you know. And it's like this morning I got a comment on one of my YouTube channels or one of my YouTube videos like, hey, thank you so much for this, I got it right on the first try, God bless you, you know. And that's it's awesome. It's like, yay, that's a win for me, you know, even if that kid doesn't pay the bills, you know, like I don't care. It feels amazing to know that you're actually helping, you know, students that potentially can't afford tutoring. So
yeah, and this is so amazing that you might have so many different reasons to start YouTube, and that's what I encourage people to do, just find their own reason. So as you mentioned, for you it's like just make it accessible to everybody. For me it's to make it easier for everybody. So for example, what I noticed, you know, like technology is complex, right? And people come to me with questions, oh, how can I solve this one and this one? And you can either write like 2 long pages and share it with them, or you just share your screen, which is like 5 minutes, and then they say, oh my gosh, it's so easy, right? So I kind of use YouTube for making things easier for people, because video and tutorials very often are easier.
Way easier. Yeah, sometimes even with my students, if there's a exercise that we didn't get to do or whatever, because I teach math, and if there's anything we didn't get to do, I'll be like, I'll shoot you a video, don't worry. And I'll literally just make a quick video of me on my little whiteboard writing it down. You know, this is what you do, this is what you do, bam, 30 seconds done, you know. So it's great. And they're like, oh yeah, I get it, awesome. Thank you.
Instead of long emails or something, right? Like an explanation. Cool. So was it an easy start? Because you started during the pandemic, right? When pandemic happened.
Yes, I started back in March. It's something I had been thinking about for a long time. And it was a very interesting experience, because when the pandemic first started, my students completely dropped. They're like, I don't have anything to study. You know, like I don't have anything to do, so I don't need a tutor anymore. So I literally, my clients cut out by half or more than half. And I was like, holy cow. And I was like, you know what? This is the chance to start it. Now I have the free time to do it, you know, so let's do it. And I started doing the YouTube channel. And actually my husband got COVID right after that. He got COVID in May of last year. So I kind of had to put it on pause. But in that, and at the same time, then I was getting more students, because now at this point they were kind of behind, or they were not, you know, parents were concerned, but because they were not teaching anything in school, and now they they needed a tutor to help them catch up and all that kind of stuff. So it was very interesting, and it was great for me to be able to say, like, when I become overwhelmed with too many requests, I can just say, hey, here's my biology playlist, or here's my chemistry playlist. You know, like, there's a video there for you, I promise. Like, here you go.
Yeah.
And I also take video requests. So if students are like, hey, can you help me with linear functions, whatever, I'll be like, okay, I'll shoot you a video tomorrow, and then I'll post it on YouTube, and that's it.
So this is where my other question comes, because what I noticed looking at private tutors and teachers, there are two types of content. So one is like very focused on the subject you're doing. So in your case, it's going to be math. So, you know, questions of how do you do multiplications, like surface area, and so on and so forth. And the other type of content is more either motivational or like in general existential, right? Like, oh, how to get to college, how can I improve my skills, and so on and so forth. How do you think about producing content for your YouTube? Like, do you focus on one? Do you see different reactions from the audience for those two types? How does it work?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. So I like to obviously have those instructional videos to where it's like, here's how you do the quadratic formula or whatever, step by step. But also I think it is very important for them to get to know me as a person, not just like a machine who does, you know, bunch of calculations. And it's also, I think, especially my audience, which are teenagers, they're at a very critical point in their lives where they are about to make one of the most important decisions in their life, which is going to college, right? Potentially, or choosing a career, whatever that may be. And I think that having that other perspective of like, here's somebody who's done it, right? Like I went to college and now I'm an entrepreneur, and I didn't even exactly pursue what I went to college for, kind of thing, to have them have those experiences as well. Like, one part of my section of my lives is I like to instruct them about financial literacy. You know, I think tomorrow I'm having a live and I'm going to be talking about you know, debit cards versus credit cards and stuff like that, so that they understand and prepare them for, like, because the thing is, like, math to me is not just a bunch of formulas, right? And actually, I'm not sure if you saw my video on how to become better at math, is like, to me, math is just critical thinking, you know? And if we can use math to actually apply it to life, then it's worth it, you know? Learning the Pythagorean theorem is not important. That is not the point.
I saw your video about housing.
Yes.
I saw your video about housing.
Right. So how to pay off your house. Yeah. So yeah. And that's what it's like, I don't want people to think, or especially younger ones, like, oh, I'm going to make a commitment of 30 years. You don't have to pay the house in 30 years. You can pay it in 10. And this is how you do it, you know, or whatever. Like snowballing, stuff like that, stuff that I wish I knew when I was a teenager, you know. And I think also showing them that other side of education, like, what is it that you should be learning in school? You know, it's like, it's not just math. It's not about all these crazy formulas. It's about the critical thinking, you know, like it's the logical steps. Like, how do we pursue that, you know? So I just like to make it applicable to life instead of all this information that we get for no reason and nobody ever uses it again.
Actually, to what you said, we have a great summary from Brenda. She said it's preparing them for reality, real life experiences that many didn't teach us. So that's so true. And also we have a question from Paul. So he's a math tutor too, and he's asking, is there a specific time limit that you are assuming for your videos, because it's gonna be, I don't know, more engaging, or like more people are gonna view it, and so on and so forth? So do you prefer long or short?
It depends on the topic. I try to make them as short as possible. I've actually talked to my students about it, and they're like, if I see 5 videos and they are about the exact same thing, I'm going to choose the shortest one.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so I try to keep them under 3 minutes. So, and this is a mistake that I did at the very beginning, that I would just shoot a bunch of stuff. And I ended up once with like a 45-minute video. You can find it on my channel. And it has like 10 views because nobody wants to watch a 45-minute video. You know, I was very green about it. I didn't really know much about it. But yeah, depending on your target audience, like if you're teaching adults, for example,
Yeah.
adults usually have a much longer attention span. Like
Okay.
I'm okay watching a 10-15 minute video about anything,
Mhm.
right? A lot of times actually I go and I watch videos for my students, you know, so I can explain it to them in 2 minutes, because otherwise they're not going to watch the whole video, you know? So yeah, I would keep it depending on your target audience. Mine are teenagers, so I would say I keep it definitely under 5, probably between 2 and 3 minutes, something like that.
Which is interesting takeaway, because I can see that, because TikTok was created for a young generation, right? Where actually expectations of young audience, irrespectively whether they are on YouTube or TikTok, are very similar.
Yeah, one thing I also do, which I think has helped a lot, is that I would make a full video, like let's say a 6-minute video on a full explanation of an exercise, and then I would like trim it in a way to where I just speed it up. There's no talking, it's just like music, and it's like sped up, like just following the steps. And I post it on TikTok. I make sure it's under 1 minute. I would post it on TikTok, and then at the end, it's like, for the full video, go on YouTube and watch it. You know?
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so that way it's like I can get their attention. They know exactly what they're going to get on the video, but at least if they want more explanation, they can watch the extra couple of minutes for it.
Okay, so it's like intro for the proper video.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like a what is that called? Like a, oh my gosh, what they do with movies?
Yeah, trailer.
A trailer, yeah. It's like a trailer. Here's a, you want to see more? Here you go.
Yeah, that's smart. Wow, cool. Yeah. That's why I thought like your acting experience can really add a great value, because you are going to have much better, maybe not experience, but like different approach with the things that work. Because I mean, acting is about moving, right? Like this is the same, and about video. Another question I have is, how consciously do you think about promoting your YouTube channel? Because one thing is to shoot the video and just leave it there. The other one is to promote it for people to view it and to get more subscribers and so on and so forth. Or you just leave it on the side for YouTube to do the job?
No, you have to promote your videos. That is rule number 1. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Sean Cannell from Think Media. I follow him. I consider him one of my coaches. And one of the things that he says is like, a lot of people just post and pray. And it's like, prayer works, but it has to be backed up by action, you know. And he always says, like, if you want to spend as much time as you spend making that video, that's the amount of time you want to spend marketing it. You know, like you want like 50% of the time you spend make it, you know, constructing that video should be the same amount you spend marketing it. So the moment that video hits YouTube, I'm blowing it up on every group on Facebook. You know, I'm posting it on my page. I'm posting it on different math groups. There's thousands and thousands of groups on Facebook. Yes. I personally, like, I'm in a lot of homeschooling groups. Because obviously they don't have a teacher, so, or sometimes they do, but they're usually looking for more supporting material. So I'm in a lot of homeschooling groups. I'm in a bunch of math groups, science groups, and I just post them there. And if they don't allow self-promotion or whatever, just leave and move on to the next one, you know. And it's good to contribute to the group though.
And also as an owner of the Facebook group, guys, remember that each group has a bit different focus. So for example, like if Isabel posted about math in our group, which is for tutors and run their business, that doesn't make sense. So nobody's gonna approve it. But if Isabel had a recording about, I'm a tutor, how I can promote my YouTube channel, which is very useful for other tutors, like, yeah, go ahead. And also, I know that many people are going to be very conscious about like a Facebook algorithm, because Facebook doesn't like when you post a link in the main post. Less people see it. And owners of the groups are very conscious about this. So what you can do, you can write a general post and then put the link in the comments. That's the way people go around it. And that's how you increases your chances as well for very strict admins to approve your video.
You want to see what I do?
Yeah,
I post my thumbnail. I literally upload my thumbnail instead, like as a picture instead of the link. And then I would say like, hey guys, this is my new video, whatever. And sometimes I normally do post the link, but I don't let the link generate the picture, if that makes sense.
Okay,
so I actually upload it as a picture. So that way the post is considered a picture upload, not a link.
Yes, exactly. And you post the link in the comments, or where do you post it? Or
no, I do post it on the same post usually, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the post then is considered a picture. It's not considered a link.
Oh, that's good. So,
does that make sense?
That's good tip too. Yes, but keep in mind as well, guys. Keep monitoring those things, because Facebook, among all different social media, they love changing the rules.
Oh yeah. That may not be true. I don't know.
So keep checking those things.
Right.
Okay. So also a very practical point of view, like how much equipment do you use? Because I know like many people who start are so afraid that I'm gonna need a proper headset and professional microphone and something else and so on. Like, what do you use?
Content is way more important than lighting or viewing or whatever. If what you're posting is valuable, it doesn't matter, you know, like, because think about it, podcasts are huge right now. It's just audio. There's no picture, so it's not like, I mean, the picture can enhance it for sure. And when I started, I already had professional equipment because I'm an actress. I already had purchased it for my auditions. So I do have a DSLR camera. I have my lighting soft boxes. I have my microphone. I have my backdrop and everything. I'm not sure if you want me to show it. Would you like me to show my equipment? Okay.
Yeah, of course. Go for
let
it.
me see if I can move this, because I have a lot of stuff connected to my laptop. But I have my self view hidden over here so I can look at you and not at me. But yeah, so over there, that's my backdrop. I'm not sure if you can see my lights over there. I have my camera, DSLR. I have my, let me shoot. Let me see if I can give you the tour.
Yeah, really.
Isabel Explains tour over here. I was not expecting this, but hey, it's his live, y'all. So here we go. So this is my backdrop for when I do videos that I just put like graphics and stuff on the side. So these are my soft boxes. They're super cheap on Amazon. They're probably like $70 or something. I have this little stand, which is amazing. This thing, I put my laptop here when I do my live videos. It has a phone mount as well, so you can put your phone if you want to do a live on your phone as well. Cool. It's really cool. And this goes all the way high to like 62 inches or something. Like, yeah, so like 5 feet high is amazing. Then I have my little camera over here. I have my whiteboard that I bought on Amazon as well. And I have my markers over there. There's not a lot of light going on here, but that's okay. So yeah, that's my studio pretty much. It's nothing crazy, nothing fancy. Like I said, a lot of it I had already acquired it because I was an actress and I had my my equipment from auditions. But yeah.
So now I'm gonna admit something pretty funny. So my stand is a very thick book, which I put my laptop on top of it.
And that is perfect. That is perfect. Oh, I've acquired this throughout the year though. Like, it's not like I bought all that at once.
Yeah, of course.
No. And I waited for it to go on sale and stuff like that, you know? So yeah, and my backdrop is a blanket. That's literally just a blanket. I put a hole on it and it just got the rut through it. So it's not fancy, you know, it's not like a super professional studio. It's just,
but it works.
It's what I need.
Yeah,
and it works. Yeah.
That's the most important. Okay, so my last question would be about how you strategize about the content you create. Like, do you sit down in advance and think, oh, I'm gonna shoot about this one, and this one? Or like you mentioned before, you get inspired by what people ask for?
Both. So sometimes, a lot of times is because I see a trend of like, okay, all of my students, I have 3-4 students that are working on, like right now, for example, which is what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. I have students going over system of linear equations, right, with 3 variables. So I literally have like 3 students working on that right now. So guess what? On my live tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about how to solve those, because I know that a lot of students are going to be on the same boat. Right. A lot of times, yes, I get specific requests. So yes, I will prioritize those. But I do have, actually, I have a long list over here of all the video ideas that I want to make.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty long list. And when I get to it, I get to it. But I do definitely shoot more than one video at once.
Okay.
I do not shoot one video at a time. I started doing that at first, and you burn out so quickly. I hate putting on makeup. So
okay.
I'm like,
so all the logistics behind the scene.
Yeah, it's like if I have to put on makeup, I'm gonna shoot 4 videos today. You know, like it's just not. I'm not gonna be putting on makeup for one video. That's not gonna happen. So. Yeah.
Paul has another question to you. Paul, it seems like either you are doing already YouTube, or you're really seriously considering doing YouTube. So if you have a YouTube channel, let us know in the comments too. Post the link there. And if not, let us know when are you starting. And the question from Paul is, how regularly do you post videos? Specific time, day, each week, and so on and so forth. Do you doesn't matter.
Yes. So I normally post them every Friday morning, because a lot of my students, well, they will watch them over the weekend. So you can be strategic about it if you want to. I think that is something that is a little more for those who are more advanced. Like if you do not have a YouTube channel, and I do have one, it's Isabel Explains. So you can just look up ISABEL, Isabel Explains. And once you're more advanced and you have a ton of views and all that kind of stuff, even YouTube will tell you when is your audience online, you know, like when should you post, you know. But when you're starting out, just post. Just post it. You know, it doesn't matter if you do 1 a week, 2 a week, 3, 7, it doesn't matter. Just post. That's what matters. There's
a statement I heard that actually in the beginning, for the first year, don't expect much, just produce content, and then only after the year you can really see the results, because the YouTube algorithm apparently is very slow in learning what kind of content you have and to who it should be shown to. Is it correct? Have you seen the difference?
Yeah. And the thing is, a lot of times, I think it's also in part because YouTube wants to make room for those who are actually committed to YouTube, not those who are just dabbling, right? So if you're just posting, let's suppose you have a YouTube channel and you have 5 videos on it.
Yeah.
You know, that's exactly, that doesn't look serious. But if you have 150 videos on it, then YouTube is like, okay, you're clearly doing something. And actually something I recently discovered, by the way, that I would love to share with other tutors is just like on TikTok that I do the 1-minute videos, do them on YouTube. YouTube now has YouTube Shorts, and that has skyrocketed my videos, my views by the thousands.
Okay. What is YouTube Shorts?
YouTube Shorts is basically you shoot a vertical video in less than a minute. So it can be edited, obviously, like you can edit it and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't have to be live or anything like that. But yeah, you just do a vertical video under 1 minute. And there is, if you go on your YouTube app, you're going to see on the bottom, it says Shorts. There's a Shorts feed just like TikTok.
Okay.
So it's kind of like the analog of TikTok. And because people are watching them all the time, you know, like I've gotten tons of subscribers from there. I've gotten tons of videos. Like I remember I was listening to Sean Cannell, and he was talking about YouTube Shorts. And he said, don't necessarily turn your channel into YouTube Short if that's not what your niche is, like what you want to do. But don't neglect them either.
Yeah, don't ignore them.
And I was like, you know what? Just for the heck of it, let's just throw a short in there and see what happens. So I did 2. And on the next day, I had over 800 views on each of them, when my average views every day was like 4. And I was like, what the heck?
So thank you for sharing this. Like, because for me, YouTube is not the main channel. For me, it's Facebook, really. I use YouTube a bit as kind of storage for videos. Because it's so much easier to share a link, right? That's so cool to know. And also, like Paul, when you were talking, he specified his position. So he's not on YouTube yet. He's thinking of this, but he just doesn't know whether he should start on Facebook and then share it to YouTube or vice versa. What's your approach? Does it matter, or it doesn't in the beginning?
Not really, not really. Because what you want to build is the influence, right? You want to build that presence. So I personally started on YouTube and posting them on Facebook, which is, like I said, for me, YouTube is my home base, right? So for me, that's what it is. I do most of my interacting on Facebook though. So I actually started sharing them on both. I prefer to have them all on YouTube just because it's a lot easier for me to keep track of what's happening because of the analytics and stuff. I personally believe I haven't really explored the analytics on Facebook, so I don't know how they work. But I do know that the analytics on YouTube are very straightforward and they show you exactly where your video dipped. Like it shows you. So for me, like to learn, I definitely would recommend YouTube because then you know what you're doing right and you know what you're doing wrong, and what you can correct from there. I'm not sure how the Facebook analytics work though.
To be honest, with Facebook, the main issue is they change the rules of the game when you're playing. That's the worst about Facebook in general. So for example, everybody at some point in the past they had pages, right? But what happened is Facebook, for example, wanted to monetize pages. So they cut the reach. Nobody ever seen your post unless you paid for marketing it, right?
Oh, wow.
So that's where people started doing groups, because once you collected group members, everybody have seen what you posted. But for example, my experience recently is only, I don't know, a month ago or something, they started cutting reach for people. So for example, if I post something because I'm good a group admin, much less people see that random person, like a member, posting it.
Oh, really?
My observation. Versus, I think YouTube is more kind of stable and predictable still. They are not trying to over monetize what they have.
Okay. Well, next time, just send me what you want to post and I'll post it for you.
I'm using my husband account too. So he's member of the group. Awesome.
Put him to work.
Yeah. No, awesome. So let's conclude. You also convinced Brenda. She has like 150 videos currently on YouTube, which is a lot. And she said she's gonna do shorts, and she posted pants.
Yes. So send me a screenshot of what you get the next day, please.
So as the last one, Isabel, tell everybody if they would like to follow you or check what you do, how you do it, what kind of resources they should go to. Is it website? Is it, obviously we mentioned YouTube channel a lot, maybe Facebook page, something. What do you have?
To find me or to find how to do what I do?
Both.
Okay. Both. So like I said, I follow Think Media, which are an amazing resource like on how to grow on YouTube. Specifically, they do a lot of 7-day challenges or 5-day challenges where they show you like almost step by step like how to post videos and what to expect. But it's specifically for YouTube. It is not for Facebook. I mean, some of it is transferable to where you can also use it on YouTube. But that is usually my go-to. And honestly, on YouTube, there's a lot of people sharing how they got to 1 million subscribers or whatever. Okay. So you can always do your own research there. To find me, I tutor math and science. I tutor middle school and high school for math and science. I also do some college. So my YouTube and my Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and TikTok, they're all Isabel Explains. It's just ISABEL Explains. And yeah, you can find me there. I also share my email address, isabelexplains@gmail.com, if you want to send me a video request, like, hey, can you please make a video about this or whatever, or talk about this on your next live. That's cool. My next live is tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So if you guys want to,
what's the topic?
Check out. So I'm going to be talking about, I have a list somewhere. So I'm going to be talking about, like I mentioned, the linear equations with 3 variables. And I'm also going to be talking about debit cards and credit cards. So it is more geared towards teenagers. So if you know of any teenage teenager that wants to learn a little more about finances, and they have questions about how do I get my bank account, how do I, like, what's the difference between credit and debit, like all that kind of stuff, just tell them to check me out tomorrow and we can talk about it.
And it's important for them to know they should start building their credit scores.
Yes. And why credit is so important, like all that kind of stuff. We can talk about that tomorrow.
Cool. Awesome. So. Thank you, Isabel. It was so great to have you.
No, thank you for having me. This is being amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brenda and Mike and Paul, for joining. We love your questions. If you have any more, just reach to Isabel directly. Like, she's so awesome person. And I really feel your unique perspective, like having this actress background is great. Like,
thank you.
And by the way, I'm not sure if you know, but like you kind of became very professional marketer too. In the meantime, doing all this.
What do you mean?
Marketing.
I guess it is.
Right?
Oh, you didn't check out my shirt. Let me show you my shirt.
Sure.
Yeah. So this is me in math class and me when Isabel Explains.
Wow. You're far much more professional than I am now.
Yeah, I like to make memes and stuff like that because, I mean, like I said, my target audience is teenagers, so it's kind of hard to make them laugh. No, I'm kidding. They're awesome.
But also for us, right? Like otherwise life would be so boring.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Cool.
That is true.
Thank you, guys.
Well, thank you so much. Take care.